Hello, we're back. Yes, we're back to live racing. Well, not live racing. Hello and greetings from the new lobby after we had a not terminal lobby glitch, but it's enough to warrant us having to restart with a custom grid. Some drivers aren't happy about the idea, but you know, we can't affect it, so what are we going to do? In this situation, though, Twan, had to remember who you were for a second. How does this affect your mentality as a driver? Do you instantly think, okay, now I get a chance to like edit some setup if my setup wasn't right, or are you thinking, no, I wish we'd just gone straight after qualifying?
Well, I think it depends on who you are. If you can just restart your brain and just use a bit of time to just get into race modus, that could be really good. But if you're just irritated and stuff, you're never gonna get a good start.
Now, the grid will be custom, matching the qualifying, which will also hopefully include, who was it? Stam and, Spyrus Virus and Nikos's penalties, which will drop them down a few positions on the grid. Once again, we can only, to be honest, we can't apologise. It's Abby, that's you, sorry. Having a moment. But we can only apologise, we can't really apologise, can we? Because it's the game fault, it's not our fault, it's the game fault, isn't it?
Yeah. No, it's not the first time either, so it's just...
No, this has happened before.
So many problems. As well, in the GP2 there was one glitch, what is it called?
The desync glitch, was it?
The pit lane. The
pit lane glitch. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Everyone loves that one.
I can't remember who got that, but, you know...
Ooh.
It's just a shame.
Well, I'll tell you what, this basically sums up my my day, because I've literally had probably a god-awful day this last couple of weeks.
Aww.
Yeah, it's just a day, to be honest. It'd be completely horrible. What we got here? Ooh, Lewis Hamilton was testing out the new electric Mercedes-Benz, the EQC. And he says that he's actually ordered one. So he's bought one.
Yeah, bought or
well,
got.
Well, yeah, 100% discount. But yeah.
Yeah.
So some drivers complaining. I won't tell you who. Red. Definitely not something that rhymes with Arari. But we'll see. Some drivers aren't happy with the fact is, but you know, that's how it goes. But still. So we're going to go back over the track now. We got 20 drivers in. So now we're going to make sure that the whole qualifying's right.
Oh, damn, that's sick. I was just looking. Valtteri Bottas is the first other driver than Lewis or Vettel to lead the championship since the 2017 Australian Grand Prix.
Who was leading it in the 2017 race? Sebastian,
well, either Hamilton or Vettel, I guess.
Oh, no, it must have been 16 because Nico was leading it, wasn't it, back then?
Yeah.
Now here's one for you, mate. Yeah. Here's one for you. Ed Jones, who is an IndyCar driver, he crashed in St. Petersburg a few weekends ago, which involved him actually. I think he slipped a disc in his back or broke his back a little bit, and he broke his hand. But he has been cleared to drive in the Grand Prix at Kota, which is happening in this Sunday.
They're mental.
Yeah, I know. And we do it on a game. We get injured.
It's basically the opposite of soccer players, or football players.
All right. So those are ultra soft tyres in the Mercedes garage, so maybe we might see some dry in this race now, because obviously custom weather, we can never get the custom weather to be exactly the same as it was in the initial run. So we're not going to restart again just to get the weather completely right, because it's still a lottery, because it's so ridiculous. So we'll see how the drivers handle all of this. But yes, it's going to be really interesting to see how the drivers handle. Obviously, with the mentality change, they've had a few more minutes now out of the cars, relaxing, run through everything to make sure it's all okay.
Yeah, at least they have got set it to rain at least.
The grid was not set. So the grid was not set. We are having another restart here because everyone readied up way too early. So it seems the driver's a little bit too eager this time. So the grid was not set.
We have loads of time, don't we?
I have just put a large message, because I run this division, and I've just put a large message in about this, and they will wait for the driver's instructions to start, or we will not go again.
Yeah, I'm
it's most definitely the first day of school, well. Isn't it? Madness.
Yeah.
Oh well. We can only hope that eventually this race we'll get onto it.
Yeah.
So while we're waiting for invites once more, we're going to load up and have a look at who was on pole position, who was a Renault. We're going to have a look at the Renault car. There it is, on screen. Nice, looking at it. Horrible numbers on it, but you know. But yes, that's a good strike for the Renault crew already, isn't it? Like getting pole position in the first race. We've already seen a Renault power unit win a Grand Prix. That was yesterday. So Renault looking particularly strong this season. Would you say that? Seeing you have a Mercedes unit in the back of your car.
Yeah, of course, is always looking for well, isn't it? Well, foreseen there was sort of a B team for Mercedes, not anymore, but
yeah, it's not strong media, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the Stroll A team. Right. Can you send me invite?
We have not been invited yet to the lobby. I'll just make sure that we haven't got an invite. We will wait and see. Right now, we're waiting on drivers that will wait for the instruction from Lionel before they before they get up to the ready post. They're a little bit too eager to ready up, which is yeah. Just yeah, yeah. Primary Rex saying, sorry, Alex saying somehow his Honda engine worked back on Tuesday. That was a good win there for Primary Rex. I don't know if you saw it because you were off doing other things on that day, weren't you?
Yeah. I think the most people weren't that happy from my. Should just clear their head, I guess.
Well, it isn't really that. I think they were just excited to go. Completely forgot that we had to set the grid. Easy mistakes made. So the grid will be set as soon as all drivers are into the lobby. This is obviously a bit of a hassle right here, but that's how it goes. But yes, we're gonna have to wait and see what everyone does. Now they've had that time. They've got to relax now. And,
have you remembered to stay hydrated?
Yeah, I have. I've been drinking out of a bottle for the last few minutes. I'm running out of water. So what the drivers will be asked to do now, if any drivers are listening, select your cars. The drivers will select their cars and they will wait until given the order to ready up. Unlike Jesse Tony, who has already readied up. From now on, I shall be sitting here and I will be calling drivers out that ready up too early.
We already caught a prediction now. Daniel Horsfall says that Toro Rosso will win the constructors in all divisions. Well,
that's Electro Dan jumping in because he had a brilliant race in GP2, and obviously with the fact that we have 3 teams in each division of this of the actual teams, you know, of the actual drivers. You know, 6 cars in each team. Now, it'd be interesting to see how many of them actually ready up and like sort of talk to each other and help each other. Someone else ready up, Spyros ready up, though he has not been given the order yet, which is quite. It's like, you know, in IndyCar they don't do drivers start your engines. You know, they all like power up their engines because, you know, they want to show off because they're big and American. It's like these guys. They've been told not to start their engine yet, but they haven't actually been given the command, which is a bit silly, isn't it?
Yeah, but I guess not everyone are listening to the stream or looking or anything. Just getting
Yeah.
the invites and getting in. So, but
So
as
that is
long as
20 guys, isn't it?
the majority doesn't do it, I think we're fine.
As long as it's as long as it's below 10, it's fine. But
Yeah.
right now, it's going to get really interesting with all of this. But yes, so no other drivers ready up, so I can't insult anyone yet. Pretty mean I am.
Yeah,
I really am.
there's 2 people.
We're just waiting on drivers to select their cars. I think we are waiting on lean out. Okay, the grid will be set in a moment as everyone gets it right. Just going to refer back to the qualifying video. I think that was, hopefully, you know, the video will be processed by the time we're done here. All right. What was that question, sorry?
No, just going. Just going. Toro gang and stuff.
Yeah, you can monitor the chat for me if you like. If there's anything that you want to call out in the chat that you believe that should be timed out, I shall be handling that. I am wielding my massive timeout stick tonight, so I'll be handling that with care and due diligence as the race goes on. But right now we're just waiting on everyone, so I'm currently now looking through Facebook. Oh, and look, Formula E. Are you a fan of Formula E?
Formula E, no, I've watched some of the races, but not a lot. So.
And they put him with the guy who's
casual watcher. Isn't that what it's called? Casual watcher.
Yeah, I guess you could call it that. But you know me, I love a bit of Formula E. What I do is never shut up about it. That's on this weekend as well.
You had a question earlier, by the way, but of the drivers in the different teams talking to each other. I think it's more. Do we have standings for? Yeah.
The command has been given, so the drivers will now ready up as we head over to trackside. We are missing one driver now. Who are we missing? It's a Force India. It's Perez, I think it is. Yeah, Perez isn't here, which is quite interesting. But yes, we are readied up, and we're going to head over to the grid now. Sorry, what was that question? You can never get it out. That's the thing. Never try and just react to what's ever on stream on comms. That's what I do. I never have a train of thought.
Just a thought. Shouldn't it be possible to have constructors for overall the 3 leagues together?
That is a brilliant idea. And I will pose that to the admins later on, because I did think about that, but then I remembered that I fell asleep and I forgot everything about it and started dreaming of nuns. So, you know, why I was dreaming of nuns, I don't know.
You're welcome.
I've been summoned by Alex in the chat. So, on, Alex, what do you want? What are you calling me up for? So when are we leaving for Bahrain? You're leaving for Bahrain after these guys are finished. So, yeah, still ultra soft tyres in the garage there, so we might be seeing some dry running here in Australia with the wet. So it might be like a reverse GP2 race where it was dry to wet. This might be wet to dry.
Yeah, that would be really nice. Alex doesn't seem to be happy.
What have I done?
For you?
What have I done this
Your
time?
Mind.
My mind? My mind? You can't do anything about my mind.
No, only your conscience, right?
I'm your conscience, get it right.
Does my conscience have a conscience?
Alright, let's run through the grid before we do anything else, and let's make sure it's alright. So, what we got here, we have Lickle in P1, ahead of Dobby in P2, Volters in P3, and Samu in P4. Alfie is in P5, Mixed Drama is in P6, James Braden is in P7, and Nikos is in P8, Spirus Virus in P9. It seems that the incident there has been reviewed and has amounted to nothing, and removing the 5 place grid drops. Glock is in P10, Photio is in P11. Abiodine is in P12, Jesse Tony is in P13, and Stam is in P14. Ibrahim is in P15, ZZ Flow is in 16. Raikkonen would be in P17 with Medium Pilot right behind him in P18. And there's Linel, who's in is not actually going to be driving in P19. Okay.
Yeah, you already see Alfie, Kimi, and Medium Pilot disqualified, so they will probably start on really cold tires.
Will be interesting.
So I think we'll have to keep an eye on Alfie.
Mate, look at the chat. Someone just posed a question to you in the chat.
All right.
Perez joining a second too late. Unfortunately, not able to race now due to the fact that he is, due to the fact he was too late. Simple as. We've done the restart twice now. You're too late now.
Alex, just to give an answer. I know. I'm here now.
I'm wearing a sensible suit tonight. Might not be a male one.
Yeah,
might not be an actual suit one. It is a gimp suit, but leave me alone. If there are anybody
Isn't it
under
a condom
18,
suit?
if there's anybody under 18 that doesn't know what that is, please don't Google it. I will be in trouble. If you're all above 18, then that's fine. Alex, don't go on Google. I'm not mentioning what I'm wearing again. I won't do it. I'm not doing it. I won't do it.
Yeah,
All
be
right.
careful, be careful.
So Twan, pick a driver between 11th and 18th, and you can tell us who you're going to be looking at the start.
Ooh, I'm feeling damn.
All right, so we have one eye on the Mercedes, and obviously I'll be up at the top in looking at the lights out. There's Dobby in P2, raring to go in his Alfa Romeo, looking for the first Ferrari win of Season 4. Should be interesting. Look at the raindrop falling off the Renault's halo into the driver's eyes. That must aggravate drivers. But here we go to 5 red lights here in Australia. The lights are on. The lights are out. In a moment, there they go. The drivers are away now. It's a good start from the Mercedes in P3 of P Volters, but he's sliding now. Big wheel spin moment, and he's losing it. Red Bull into P4. Joe Envy down the inside, but P Volters trying to go around the outside of Dobby. He has made the move stick, and Dobby, sliding his way through. Stamp dropping to P17, and now Coleman Fiber dusting up in the background. Renault looking for a podium too, bouncing and bashing, and there's a mistake from Alfie, bashing into P Walters, sending them both off track at turn 4.
Oh, I was saying, you see Alfie already in 17th place.
Oh, big lag here
So
from Jesse Tony. Something's happened there. Reflow getting dropped behind a few positions. There seems to be a lot of lag. And first day back at school, yeah, Jesse Tony lagging out a few times. The driver struggling to follow him. Reflow retiring from the session on track, which is going to play havoc with drivers behind him.
Oh no! Alfie! And who is it? It's Reflow.
Reflow retiring
Crashed
the race
and
on track.
Reflow is out.
No, Reflow retired on track under his own volition. So he's broken the cardinal rule of SpeedForce. Jesse Tony lagging around. I think that connection needs to improve. Now Glock trying to go down the inside of Fotio now, trying to make it move. He has made the move stick now. Remember, no DRS active in the wet conditions right now. Going down the inside, but there's Fotio getting back around the outside. Fotio hitting the wall, costing him a front wing. So the Renault by 2.3 seconds leads us away on Black.
Oh, Fotio!
What's happened there?
Oh no!
Oh,
Fotio
Glock
just
involved as well.
Yeah, Fotio went right on into Glock.
Okay. So two drivers out on the first lap, and Glock with no front wing. Would you class that? I'm going to ask you professional opinion as a driver. Would you class that as a takeout?
Yeah.
You would. Okay.
Yes.
Can you just save your footage for me? Lino retiring from the session. Already drivers dropping those lines. Down the inside of medium pilot though, go and Abiodine dropping into P10. Now drivers having to struggle in these wet conditions, and the lag from Jesse Tony only getting worse. It's now affecting me whenever I'm near him. So looking at medium pilot now, he's trying to get his way back. Jesse Tony's lag is insane.
He's out as well.
Yeah, but Lino was only here for the invites. These drivers. Steve connection is a big issue here in the Premier Division.
True.
Abiodine looking at the back.
And Jesse Tony, is he?
Neither of us can even tell what he's doing, and he's just lagging around. I can't imagine what the drivers are doing.
Is that just lag or?
That's all lag, mate. Look at that.
Oh.
That's insane. That's almost black flag worthy, if you ask me.
He should retard the car, I think.
Yeah, down the inside though goes James Braden on Mixilius Drama, and now it's opening up for Spyrus Virus to get past Mixilius. He hasn't made the move stick yet. He's trying to make a stick. He's moving around a lot, but he's going to get cut off by the Ferrari. The Ferrari's struggling, and now James Braden under pressure as well. Medium pilot struggling to get past Jesse. He has at this point you can't tell what a car is. Jesse pulling into pit lane though. Maybe he has been given the call to retire from the session due to the lag. There's been a big issue in the background. Raikkonen and fighting with Abiodine. Abiodine going the run now, trying to find a gap on the Alfa Romeo. Hasn't been able to get a stick. Big lock up though for Abby as he tries to get it all turned in.
Oh, we have a really nice freeway battle between James Braden, Mixlix Drama, and Spires Varus now on our hands, as well as Samu and Dobby.
Yeah, we're just looking at Samu on stream now as Jesse Tony sat in pit lane. So lap 3 out of 29 here in. Ooh,
Spires, look at Spires, he's trying, he didn't get the traction, but he was alongside Mixalis Drama.
The Spanish driver locking up as he gets into that corner. That corner seems to be struggling on lock-up territory there. Same with Nikos having a big slide as well.
Yeah, I see everyone are sliding around. Oh, so, Nikos hitting the wall.
Is that a consequence of running the possible dry setups with the fact that it might be dry later on in the race? Or is it just because this track is so difficult in the wet?
I think it's a bit of both, I guess.
So no change at the top. Lickle running away with it right now. 4 seconds separating him and him and Dobby.
Oh, Samu is getting really close to Dobby now.
Red Bull on Aston Martin power, as I'm going to nickname it now. I think we're just going to go with that. They've all got Aston Martin power in the Red Bull because we don't have the Honda yet. So the Aston Martin Red Bull racing car trying to close up on the Alfa Romeo. It's not happening. It does look a little tricky. Yes, it does. Ooh, did he consider it there?
No, I think he broke a bit too late.
No contact though as the driver's come through. The number 15 Dobby car trying to get his way through under pressure from Samu, heavily locking up himself. And obviously the lock-up's less effective in the wet because the treaded tyre is able to grab onto the grab onto the traction tarmac better. But I think the biggest issue right now is obviously the ride height of the cars. To get the cars to be slightly ridden up so they don't aquaplane as much. Or they don't hit the water too much on the ground. Vautier leaving the session after the controversial move on Glock. And now Dobby under pressure once more from Samu. But Spirus Virus now much closer to Mixilius Drama. What are you looking at, Twan?
I'm looking at Spirus Virus as well now. But if you see, Samu is really close to Dobby.
So it seems that Samu is much quicker in the corners, and Dobby.
Yeah, I think Sam is really. I think Sam is really, really fast in the last sector, but he just can't get the traction down to get it on the straights.
Yeah, right there. Look at that. Dobby just going off the straight like it was nothing. Now onto the tail cam of the Red Bull, looking at the side of it. Big lock up on the front right as he tries to get closer to the Alfa Romeo ahead. It's not happening, and again these cars struggling to follow in the wet, isn't it?
Yeah, I think everyone has a bit of a... Who?
He's got it wrong. He went very deep. Samu getting it very wrong, going deep at T4, and now under pressure from James Braden in the Williams, who's running a Jensen Button-esque helmet there. Or a Braun-esque helmet at least. I need someone to run it.
Well, I'm really glad I'm not driving myself, but because it looks like my connection is shit.
Well,
so I'm really happy I'm not driving now.
To be fair, I'm pretty happy I'm not driving because I don't feel like getting wet. Anyway, Dobby much quicker under straight, and Glock pulling into pit lane again, maybe with a broken front wing once more, maybe to retire the Williams. But now Lickle has disappeared, 6 seconds leading away from the rest, and Dobby and Samu fighting like their lives depend on it. And drivers close together, but still not able to make a move yet with the wet compounded tyres on the cars.
It looks like it's just one long train forming, I guess.
Yeah, it really is. Do just excuse me as you... Can you just take over comms for a second? I just need to put something into the driver's chat.
Alright, let's see. We'll go on board with Samu again. Going through the corner, sitting down the power. It's still a bit too far from Dobby at the moment.
Okay,
So
I'm back.
just can't seem to get straight line speed.
It's really interesting to see how these guys have set up the cars. But if you look down now at the battle, oh, Nikos hitting the wall heavily there as the champion. Doesn't look like any carbon fiber flying off that Ferrari, but the Ferrari looking okay. And now you see Medium Pilot searching for a way past the champion. Medium Pilot, who we thought was going to put in a good championship fight last season, didn't manage to do it because of joining so late. But now he's on his hunt to try and pass the champion and go for a championship this season. Remember, only round 1 of the Season 4 championship. Nikos all over the place as he loses the rear end. And Medium Pilot trying to find a gap, trying to find any inch of road to get past the Ferrari. Hasn't managed to do it as of yet. So it's amazing that we still have 16 cars running in these conditions. I mean, the S section, as Alex just brought up in chat, the S section must be treacherous, mustn't it?
Yeah, I was just on board with Lickle, and he was going down to 4th gear. So that's crazy. Oh, Nico's getting it wrong. A lone trainer now.
Yeah, he's struggling a lot.
Yeah, Medium Pilot, Nikos, Virus, and Drama.
James Braden, though, getting close to the back of Samu, who's close to the back of Dobby. Now we're going to see who's going to make a move out of the wall. There has to be at least one move. Oh, there's a crash in the background.
Oh, Virus is out.
The wall.
Oh. And Medium Pilot trying it on Nikos maybe? No, he stays behind.
I think, to be honest, he was just trying to get past Spyrus at that point, wasn't he?
Yeah, Spyrus, he lost a bit of his front wing, didn't he?
Abraham into pit lane as well. I just saw James Braden drifting through turn 5 like he was sliding into someone's DMs. He's got the run now on Samu. Samu who went high, and now James Braden trying to go around the outside on the Red Bull. It hasn't happened because the Red Bull able to get better brakes on him on the switchback though. Can the Williams make any sense of a move? No, not yet. He's right on his back though, and this could end in tragedy or glory.
I think Medium Pilot is even closer. They're closing up into the S sections now.
No risk,
he's
no
keeping
rewards
behind
right
at
now.
the moment.
James Braden losing a bit of power. Cannot get close to it. We're going to jump down to that McLaren-Ferrari battle. Who's got the power? It seems that Medium Pilot struggling on the curbs versus Nikos, who's just struggling all round at this pace, isn't he?
No, I think everyone are struggling now at the moment.
I can't just call him James Braden all
goes
the time.
into the pits.
Spyrus putting his pit lane, obviously, yeah, for a new front wing, very good spot there. Oh, Alfa Romeo in the background, that's Kimmy, not enjoying these wet weather tyres at all. There you see, this is the battle for second, and it's lots of cars involved right now. Closest battle being Medium Pilot, who's right on the back of Nikos. He's going for a dive bomb, no, he's trying to make Nikos think that he is. Alex, there's too much to think about in this race to do funny voices. Nikos hitting the wall though, and that will affect him. Chipping off more of that Ferrari front wing, and the McLaren hunting in 98 on that McLaren, trying to find a way through. And that Ferrari just can't get the traction down anywhere, can it?
I think everyone are really gentle on the throttle. As Medium Pilot again getting a crate, actually trying it into the S's, but again just stays ahead.
Now,
I think that's clever of him.
Mate, is how much of the movements on Nikos's car is down to lag? And oh, Abraham's been disqualified from the session. Goes from bad to worse here in Australia for the McLaren team. But how much of the movements on Nikos's car and the slides and all that is down to lag?
I have no idea. I have a pretty bad connection with the guys from Greece,
yeah.
So Yeah, from Greece. So I have no idea, especially with them. And
Oh, big slide from Nikos. I'm going to assume that's lag. It's so
it's
difficult. Connection's
it
such a big
looks
thing.
like he should be going out in almost every
Whoa.
corner and then just getting back into the track.
McLaren having a bad week, yeah. Medium pilot though, trying to get back on the power and get past Nikos soon. This lag car will be aggravating him, I think, as the race goes on. But if we're going to jump back up quickly to see Samu, he's getting closer to Dolby.
Oh, medium pilot getting it on the Nikos now. And who's gonna get that one?
Nikos having the inside line at this point. Medium pilot has to do the aggressive move and he has made it stick. McLaren ahead of Ferrari. Who's got the traction though? It's medium pilot. He has the run, he has the speed. He's now ahead of the season 3 champion.
It's about time that we got overtake now.
Especially from a McLaren.
Yeah.
He was stuck behind him as much as Lando Norris was behind Giovinazzi.
Yeah, but I think medium pilot was just holding on and just waiting for Nikos to make a mistake. Oh, Sam is really close to Dobby now again, but if he just can't get the traction down, no. Again! Dobby has a great exit.
Alright, so, yeah, Dobby much better on traction. And now we're going to jump down to SpeedForce, who's right at the back of P. Walters now, who had a pretty dire first lap, just struggling and dropping all the way down from P3 down to P10. 7 laps on his tyres, though. It looks like he had to pit in the early stage of the Grand Prix, and he's under pressure, though, from the Haas. Abiodine in pit lane as well. Toro Rosso getting a new front wing on that car.
Is it just me, or have we just almost only been looking at the number 72?
Lots of 72s.
At least I've been. I see SpeedForce is really closing up to Wouters.
Yeah, Wouters, the German driver, struggling.
Oh, Wouters getting a bit of a spin.
Yeah, a little bit of oversteer there as Wouters tries to stay ahead. And right now we're going to actually jump up to the McLaren once more. McLaren on the run, and it is medium pilot trying to make an aggressive move on Mixi's driver, who is trying to make a move on James Braden. So there's nowhere to nowhere to move between this battle between 3 cars.
Oh, medium pilot getting a bit on the grass, trying to size up a move.
Well, right now,
right up. He can't get closer than that.
Right now, Mercedes drama is under pressure from the McLaren. In all of this, Nikos has pitted, and so has Samu. Both these drivers going for the early undercut. Down the inside, medium pilot trying to scare Mercedes out of the way, but it hasn't happened so far. And Walters under pressure. We're going to jump back up there to medium pilot, who's got the switch back.
Again.
He's trying to go round the outside. Has he managed to do it? It looks like he has managed to do it. The Ferrari has to bail out the move.
He's done that. Really great drive from medium pilot for now.
Looking for a podium is medium pilot 98 car. Looking to get past James Braden now in the Williams driver. This is all up in the air right now. And drivers everywhere trying to work out where they are on pace-wise against everyone else. Now SpeedForce. And a big snap of oversteers. We came on board with him trying to get past Walters, and it hasn't happened this lap.
Yeah, you see, everyone are locking up on the end of the second DRS straight. I see time and time again.
It's such a struggle, especially if it does dry out later on in the race. That's obviously why the brake pressure is so high on these cars. But you see Walters still under pressure, and I think the man on the charge right now is medium pilot.
Skating.
And he's on the back of James Braden now. James trying to suppress the McLaren's charge for the podium. Is he going to be able to do it? But 10 seconds is the gap at the top of the race. Lickle running away from Dobby by quite a margin, but medium pilot trying to find any traction. Obviously leaving the Mercedes team at the end of last year, heading to McLaren. He's looking very comfortable, isn't he?
Who would you say is the has done the best drive for now?
Right now, I gotta say it's medium pilot. He's stayed out of trouble, and he's sat in that McLaren and very heavily, and he's going for a move round the outside of James Braden. James Braden may be moving a little bit in the braking zone there, but trying to get the switchback is Pilot. And Pilot's trying to pilot that McLaren through this weather. It's more of a boat right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's got to get the back of that Williams though in the corners. He just cannot stay that close.
Yeah, that's... Oof. It's getting really close now. I think, I mean, we haven't even been looking at Lickle. He's 10 seconds ahead. Yeah,
well, being 10 seconds ahead, we don't need to talk to him because he's disappeared off. We'll see him at the end of the race. Now, Medium Pilot, sorry to interrupt you, mate. Medium Pilot's trying to go around the outside. In the S's, he's going to do it. He's going to try. Giving room all around him, and he has made the move stick. He is now ahead of the Williams, a legendary team, getting knocked off the podium, and the McLaren back up there.
Would you say that Medium Pilot's driving for now is more is a better drive than Lickle?
Well, the thing is with Lickle, he's not had to battle much. He's just disappeared off the straight after he battles into C1. He disappeared. So now as Stan retires in P14, we're going to drop down to Glock and see if we can find out where that was. But it was he's not had to battle as much as Medium has, so Medium Pilots had to go through. It'd be interesting to see as James Braden loses the position to Mysterious Drama. It'd be interesting to see which driver comes out on top, because it's clear that right now Medium Pilot has got pace.
Oh, SpeedForce is going wrong, and Alfie getting much closer, but he's trying to go for a donut or something.
Alfie trying to find any form of movement on that Renault, sorry, and he's got his eyes fixed forwards on the car ahead of him. He's not going to go for a dive bomb here. It's a little bit too far back, but he has broke, and he got very... Look at the braking distance there. He gained so much in the brakes on Spyrus. So now just waiting to see if anything will pop up. We're trying to see who's going to have a nose around the drivers, see if he can get through, see if they can try anything. A Medium Pilot on the back of Dobby. Can he do what? Oh, Spyrus making a big mistake. Spyrus. Now Alfie's got to make a move. Alfie has made the move and trying to get past the flustered Haas. The Americans say you can keep looking
going for the switchback, I think. No, he barely can't make it.
I don't think he's going to make a move into this corner. It's a little bit of a mistake if he does. And he's up, still there. And Spyrus is just pushing. Now, Medium Pilot getting out of the way of Dobby. What's happened there?
I think Dobby went into the pits, or no, Medium Pilot just got him.
Yeah, Medium Pilot just disappearing past him. He made such a move. It looked like he had DRS for a moment there. James Braden into pit lane. On board now with the Renault.
I don't know what
Alfie.
happened there.
I think it was just down to pace. I think Medium Pilot's got so much more give in his car right now. He used a lot more of his sort of ERS.
Yeah, I would not be surprised to see people beginning to pit on especially this lap and next lap, because it's halfway.
Well, Alfie trying to now make Spyrus think he's going for dive bombs. Maybe that was an attempted one to make Spyrus get out of the way, but the Renault driver on the back of the Haas just cannot make the move stick. And remember, Renault and Haas, they're not very good friends, as shown by the F1 documentary on Netflix. Please go and watch it. I like it. And I make a lot of references to it.
Shameless plug.
I make so many references to it, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Netflix, pay me. And now Alfie still trying to push, still trying to find a moment. Oh, he's spinning though. Alfie lighting up the rears on the curb, and that cost him a lot of time to SpeedForce ahead. And still, Alfie not able to make points.
So I'm just looking at the stops. The Glocky has made 2 stops. 13th place to 6th place is 1 stop, and 5th and above is non-stop. Yeah.
Well, I'd like to correct you on that, because Mysterious Drama is in the pit lane at this moment in time. And he has in fact been jumped by Samu. Is he going to get jumped by his teammate? His teammate's right on the pit exit now. They're going side by side, and Maxilius giving, Nikos giving him room, but Nikos swiping past and into the lead Ferrari roll.
People are getting loads of space now. Just everyone just giving each other space.
Well, James Braden on the back of Maxilius Drama. He is now trying to find a way past the Greek driver. I think they need to change off the names, you know, when you go on board with drivers. I think I should change them off.
You never know who's a spy, right?
I think if I change them off, it'll look more realistic, you know?
Yeah.
So the Ferrari under pressure from the Williams as he's pushing now towards the S's. Again, touching the wall does the Ferrari, and just the Williams just cannot make it stick. It seems James is a little bit too conservative on the brakes, and right now he's just going to start getting a little bit more aggressive as the race goes on.
Ah, come on.
Come on, what's up?
I got like for the 6th time or something. I've got the gearbox glitch.
Oh yeah, that's horrendous. I don't like that one. So Spyro hunting down as P. Walters falls into the pit lane. Yeah.
Wouters is in the pit lane now.
Same with Alfie. So who's quicker, Mercedes or Renault? We'll have a look now. We're going to go on board with the Renault crew and get them in to pit lane. There we are, the 29 car in, sorry, dropping down. He is out much later than the Mercedes. See, I'm a touring car driver, and we drive in these conditions all the time. From in an F1 driver's point of view, what do you think of in the wet, especially when it's like been 16 laps of a wet race, and you're like, are you struggling at this point? Or are you just trying to not make mistakes?
Yeah, I guess most people are going for new sets of tires about this time, so they will get a new live set. But for those who have older tires, it will be a real struggle now.
Well, let's have a look at the grid at the standings of the stands. Lickle is in P1 ahead of Medium Pilot in P2, though these guys have not stopped yet. Dobby's in P3 and Raikkonen is in P4, so Alfa Romeo looking out the second row of the grid. Samu's in P5 and Nikos is in P6, Maxilius Drama in P7. James Braden is in P8, Spyro is in P9, and Jesse Tony brings out the top 10 in P10. Out of the points is currently Abiodin in P11, P. Walters in P12, Alfie in P13, and Glock is in P14 after being lapped now by the leaders. Drivers out of this race include Sam, Linel, who came here just for invites, Fotio, Reflow, and Ibrahim, who was disqualified.
Has anyone got penalties yet?
For the life of me, I cannot remember. I think there might be a few on screen right now. But right now, Raikkonen closing in on his teammate. Is there any order from Fred Vassila saying get out of the way, Dobby? Probably not. Raikkonen, though, getting a better run, and he has passed his teammate. There was a call between the Alfa Romeos, and Dobby now drops into P4. Raikkonen back onto the podium.
Yeah, and Dobby again dropping off. He's been dropping off a lot from Medium Pilot now.
I wonder if it's cool for him to come into pit lane this lap.
Yeah, I think that may be a good idea.
We'll see what he can do.
Why?
Go.
Why wouldn't he wait to get Raikkonen behind him and then? Yeah, he's not going. I was thinking if he got Raikkonen behind him, he would get him a bit of tow, but.
Maybe he's trying to conserve the other Alfa Romeo's tyres. But right now, Jesse Tony under pressure from Abiodin, the German driver, on the French driver, trying to get past the Haas as he goes through the S's section. Jesse sliding a bit, and now Abiodin got the best run of the day, trying to go around the outside. He has gone around the outside of the Haas. And the number 1 Haas dropping down the position. Obviously, we know Jesse Tony is not the champion in this division. He is just running number 1 on his car because he can. Pete Walters under pressurised Jesse Tony, and Jesse trying to find a moment, but no, Jesse bailing into pit lane, letting Walters go chasing after Abiodin.
Oh, Dobby making a minor mistake now again.
Right now on board with P. Walters on the stream, mate, and he's hunting after Abiodin, who's made it into the points as Jesse Tony pulls into pit lane, and we know that the Glock is going to be doing a good impression of the other Robert Kubica right now after a front wing damage with a possible contact with Fotio. Whoa, big oversteer move for Walters. That was well held, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think he can be.
I think he's gonna have to have a moment there to collect his breath, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he can say thank you to his reflexes.
So the Mercedes now coming in, we have 11 laps of the race to go, and now on board with Alfie. Alfie in the Renault trying to get his way past the Mercedes, trying to find a bit to move. Remember, first day of school, kids don't want to break the cars too much. The battle progressing now as we're looking at it, and Spyrus pulls into pit lane, so these guys will move up one more position as Spyrus has stopped for a new tyre, possibly a new front wing as well.
Yeah, after 10 laps.
Ooh, big lag.
So what? He's going for a 2-stop, I guess.
It's aggressive strategy, isn't it?
3 times 10 laps. I don't think that's the winning strategy.
Well, right now the winning strategy is possibly going to be Pete Walters, or it's going to be Abiodin. But right now they got Spyrus as well on the inside, so can't go for a dive bomb. Spyrus coming out right in the middle of this battle with colder tyres is going to be under big pressure from Abiodin and from Pete Walters. We're going to go 3 wide, we're going to go 2 wide definitely, and we're going to potentially have a third car in there. No, not yet, but Pete Walters down the inside of Abiodin. The number 4 car trying to pass the German driver who's been boxed in by Spyrus. Still contact there a little bit and goes round the outside, goes Walters. And now you see in the background, you're seeing Alfie trying to get the move, trying to just find a little bit to get past him.
Do you think that maybe the top 4 should... Yeah, Raikkonen is pitting, but I was thinking, shouldn't they have pitted earlier to try to get an undercut? Because they're driving now for...
up to right now, wasn't it? He might be trying to get an undercut on Mixilius and Lickle. Lickle 12 seconds ahead of everyone else.
Because they're already way over the halfway line. And I think it's not getting dry, so...
It's not at all. Raikkonen dropping now behind James Braden and Mixilius. So, it'd be interesting to see. I don't know. I can't call it right now. It's really is. I don't say it's interesting to see a lot, but it really is right now. I'm fascinated by how the drivers are doing this, and as a retired racer myself, as a pundit now, I don't know which way it's going to turn. Right now, still on board with the Renault of Alfie now as he tries to close in. We're actually going to jump up to P. Walters if he gets within a tenth. He does, but not enough to close up to Spyrus yet. Alfie looking incredibly comfortable right now, isn't he?
Yeah, I think someone's a bit irritated by what we're calling it. It's not Mixalis, it's Mikalis.
Yeah.
I think that's right.
I've been trying to edit it as long as he's been there. As Media Pilot pulls into pit lane, we'll see what the McLaren squad can do. As the third place man's in, is he going to be able to get a jump and a half on the Renault ahead? Yeah, it's difficult, especially with foreign names to get it right. The amount of times I get things wrong. Remember, for a while I was calling you Twain. So.
Yeah, what was it? You were calling me something else. And I didn't want to ruin that, but what was that? It was like...
Oh, mate, you're asking the guy who's basically a goldfish. You cannot remember anything.
Twan or something? I think it was. Twan?
I think it was like Twain.
Yeah.
20, that's probably it.
20, yeah.
Oh, Alfie indeed
Alfie
aggressively
getting
making
close.
a few moves as Alfie tries it around the outside. Again, turns a little bit earlier, skimming that rear tyre with his wing. Look at Medium Pilot, all the way down in P7, has been jumped by Raikkonen now, and he's going to be frustrated at that. But it's like, with that happening, where is Nickel going to go if he pits? Because right now he's going 20 laps. Can he do 29 laps on those tyres? I very much doubt it. As Alfie makes a mistake, hitting the Marshall post. Luckily, though, the car still seems to be intact.
Yeah, Lickel should be on provisional pole still, because you see Dobby has 15 seconds and then 10 seconds to Samu. So 25 seconds, that should hold.
Alfie, sorry. Oh, it stopped raining.
No.
It has stopped raining. Go on board with the car. So it has stopped raining here in Australia at the end of a competition. Now it is the reverse of GP2, and now we're going to see if it's going to of which driver is going to increase their time and who's going to go straight onto the dry tyres. Medium Pilot may have just thrown away his chance at the podium.
So does that mean that Lickel and Dobby has just been waiting for the
dry period? Yeah.
Yeah.
But is the track going to dry out?
I wasn't expecting that, so.
But there's already a dry line forming. Look. But is the track going to dry out in this time? As
Alfie's getting in.
I want to have a look. I'm going to stay on board with Alfie as we go into pit lane. Is he going for the dry tyres immediately? Because this would be incredible if those are going to be dry tyres on the car. Those are soft tyres, I think. No, ultra soft tyres. So they are slick tyres.
Yes.
Going on board with the Renault. He's got the best jump out of everyone. Where is the leader? The other Renault coming through the shot now, heading towards the final corner. Has he been given the call to come in?
Does that mean that Alfie will be a guinea pig for
Lickel?
you
Does
think?
not pit. That is possible. As a possible idea. Let's go on board with Alfie now. See how he's sliding heavily.
He's sliding.
Got to wait for the tyres to come up. I'm predicting, I think, lap 25 we'll see the dry tyres come into full effect.
Yeah, 24, 25, I think.
Look at the lack of traction he's got. Dobby pulls in the pit lane. What is our favourite house up to? Those look like ultra soft tyres to me. And they are.
So, Dobby tries it, but I'm not sure if he can do it.
I wonder if anyone else is going to just risk it and just try and go for the intermediates right to the end.
I'd like that.
It will be interesting. Obviously, if the track gets too dry, the tyres will start to overheat. I think Dobby's struggling.
You need to earn a lot of seconds to make up that difference. Lickel has to pit anyway, but I think like people like Samu, if he just can hold on, I think he may be able to get a secure second on the intermediates, because you need to lose loads of seconds per lap to get up the difference.
I think it's and Jesse Tony as well pitting.
Yeah, I'm looking at Dobby. It's
Nickel's
looking
in.
like
Nickel's
he has
in, mate.
pretty good.
Lickel is in now. He's into the grid. He will be in P2 provided Samu doesn't stop. Where is the Red Bull?
Do you think? I think Lickel will get just about ahead of Samu.
They just released him now. It's a slow stop though. A lag stop, sorry.
Yeah,
no,
Samu's
into pit lane. Nikos into pit lane. Mercedes drama carrying on. Lickel in the best position. Now he's going to control those tyres on the restart. Remember, these tyres are going to be cold.
Yeah,
so he's going to control them.
Everyone is going in. Everyone that has intermediates, apart from Mixalis, because his teammate was right ahead.
So Dobby on the podium, Mercedes drama in P2, and Lickel is in P3. Sorry, Lickel is in P1. I completely messed that up.
Shouldn't one of the Ferraris gone a lap earlier, better than a lap later?
I think that's what they've done with Nikos. They've let him go early on the actual time versus Mercedes, who thinks he can carry on these tyres. 5 seconds separating Mercedes and Little at the top. So Twan being called away in his Pink Force India team suit to do something else, and now Little in P1. 6 seconds, definitely time for those dry tyres to come onto the cars. Definitely a little bit, no spray on the tyres whatsoever now. And Mercedes is going to drop down positions heavily. Abiodin now, how do you Little? Alfie is out of the session. On board with Jesse Tony, we'll try and find out where he's out. There's no yellow flags as of yet on the Haas.
And it means that in the constructors, I think the Ferraris have they have the most points at the moment. If it will be like this, I guess Misalis has to pit. But so as it stands now, they're gonna have the most points.
We shall see. Alfie leaving the session after retiring the car. But P. Walters under pressure from Abiodin. Abiodin aggressively turning it in like it's nothing. That's steering that car like it's a dart. And we've only got 5 laps remaining of this Grand Prix.
Mixalis coming out in 7th place, just behind Medium Pilot.
Medium Pilot has jumped in, but Medium Pilot with that early stop onto the intermediate tires, I think it has affected him this race, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. He should have been able to get ahead of Dobby, but because of the extra pit stop, he's now way down. But I think he may be able to get James Braden, James Braden was way behind, wasn't he?
James had a good couple of laps and now he's up into P5. It'll be interesting to see what James can do from that position, if ever he tries to defend it. As Raikkonen leaving the session, lagging out in P8. That's going to help all of his drivers who are behind him. We're just staying with Abiodin and P. Walters for the final point of the session.
Oh, that breaks my sober heart.
James Braden actually getting close to Nikos. So James Braden looking to Chris, and look at that, the sun comes out very quickly here in Australia. Track is going to be dry within a moment. 4 laps remain.
Yeah, oh, Mixalis making a wrong mistake in the last sector.
DRS has been enabled on these cars, and Abiodin trying to go round the outside of people.
James Braden taking on Nikos, and it's gone.
Nikos' car still struggling by looks on traction. Raikkonen losing a position to P. Walters. P. Walters getting through, and now Abiodin is the driver hunting after him. But it seems that after a big lockup, Abi's going to drop down. Look at the sun coming out.
I think the track is already completely dry, isn't it?
It looks pretty much dry to me, doesn't it? But P. Walters skimming the grass like he's a lawnmower.
So that's not the first person driving on the grass here in Australia.
Definitely not. That Mercedes definitely pushing as hard as he can to stay in P9. I think Abiodin though has the pace, and he's looking to get points for his Toro Rosso debut.
Yeah, I think everyone are just neutralizing their gaps now.
It's
everyone are in new tires, so I think that everyone has about the same pace.
We know that Raikkonen dropping down to P12. That's him out of this race. DRS open on the Toro Rosso once more. P. Walters going defensive, locking up a little bit on the outside, and Abiodin is still not able to make a move, but he's got the pace in the 24, hasn't he? As he hits the gravel though. Locking up aggressively. Yeah. P. Walters sliding through the final corner. Maybe that's still wet there.
I think Abiodin is way quicker, but I don't think he has the grip because he's skating around just a lot, really lot.
It might be down to the turbulent air coming off that Mercedes. Now you see Abiodin under brakes, trying to catch up the Walters. Walters locking up again a little bit on the inside. And look at that,
as always,
Nickel running away at the top.
Yeah, as always, it's really hard to...
Whoa, big mistake from Abiodin! Very high there, and he's lost a lot of time. Just gives me... Oh, he's made another mistake. Then he ties and he's out of the race! He's out. Abiodin right at the end, just getting it wrong. And Jesse Tony into pit lane. And that's a sad day for the Toro Rosso camp. He's done everything right in that race, and just a mistake on pushing too hard, and that has affected him.
And that means that Kimi Räikkönen is once again up on the top 10, but he's ghosting.
Due to not completing race distance, he will not be awarded that point. But Lickel onto the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix, looking very hungry for the first win and taking the second win of Renault Power this season so far.
Yeah, Jesse Tony gets past Räikkönen now.
Yeah.
So Jesse Tony is on in 10th place now.
Samu's on the hunter against Dobby. So race is starting right at the end of the Grand Prix.
Yeah, that's good to see. And because everyone are pushing that hard now, you never know who's gonna make the next mistake.
You really don't. 16 seconds ahead is Lickel of this battle here for P2. See Samu looking for his first P2 alongside Dobby, looking to make the move. He's trying to make him bait him out, saying that he's going to aggressively go down the inside. It's not happening so far. Dobby cool and collected as the cucumber he is.
The cucumber.
Down the inside though goes Samu, trying to bait him out onto the final lap of the Grand Prix, and Lickel is far ahead and stretching out to try and get a victory, but Dobby's made a big mistake running on the grass, and now Samu is ahead. Who's better on the brakes though? Oh, big lag for a second there. What happened there?
Yeah, and Samu, like, I think he's lost steering. I think his wheel stopped working, I guess.
Something's gone wrong for Samu. He's back connected now. That's the noise I'm going to make for that one. Just Scooby-Doo confused mark. Because that I don't want to say it on stream. No, I'm not going to say that. Nikos under pressure. Nikos heading the wall. Medium pilot still trying to get past the season 3 champion. In all of this though, Nickel undefeated at the top, and James Braden on the podium, looking for Williams' first podium this season.
Yeah, and once again a battle between Nikos and Medium Pilot.
Well, we're going to have to leave that battle for a moment. Whatever happens will happen, because Nickel coming around the penultimate corner now, and then into the final one. It's been a controlled race since P1. It's been a broken race. Weaving now. It's Renault's first win in Season 4, and it's Nickel's first win. He will take the lead of the championship here ahead of Dorby and James Braden. There's Glock finishing in P11. James Braden finishing in P3, and we will talk to these drivers at the end of the Grand Prix, though it is going to be a short interview due to it being very late. We're crossing the line. Sauber on the podium, Williams on the podium, and what a race there that we've just witnessed. Nikos shunting down on penalties.
So you think it's late? I'm an hour ahead of you.
If you need to go, mate, just say, and I'll conduct the interviews on my own.
No, I'll stay.
Abraham was disqualified for the session for going the wrong way, and Nickel is in P1 here in Australia. What a race for Renault.
Remember to stay hydrated.
I haven't needed to, there's been so much rain. Nickel P1 ahead of Dobby P2, and then James Braden, his first podium is SpeedForce Racing in P3. What a race for the three of them.
Yeah, I think he's just fulfilled Ricardo's dream, I guess.
Yeah, Renault on top here in Australia, and Renault was dubbed yellow. Australia was painted yellow for Daniel Ricciardo. So here are the finishers, barring any stewards' investigations, with Lickel in P1 and Dobby in P2 starting as they finish, and James Braden finishing in P3. Impressive there, starting 7th on the grid. Medium Pilot is in P4 and Nikos is in P5. Samu down in P6 after a mistake on the final lap. Mixilius is in P7 and P-Volt is in P8. SpeedForce finishing where he started in P9. Jesse Tony picking up the last point in Haas in 10th. Glock is the final finisher just outside the top 10, struggled after a first lap collision with Focio. Out of the race were Kimi Räikkönen, Abiodian, Alfie, Stam, Linel, Focio, Reflow and Ibrahim. What a race.
Yeah, if you look closely, there's only three teams finishing with all two drivers.
So what we'll do, we'll get these drivers in and we'll have a chat with them at the end of this Grand Prix. Where is Lickle? Because I don't actually have him on my friends list. So oops. Uninvited by here. Samu on the radio saying that he thought this race was over at turn 1. And who else? We're looking for James Braden. Try and get him in here. All right, mate. We'll discuss that after the stream turns
later.
Off.
Yeah.
Who was second? Dobby, of course. Oops, that's the wrong button. Nickel joining us, and we'll just wait and see for the other drivers to get in here. Ooh, that's the wrong button. All right, so just wait and see what everyone's doing. Glock saying that it's unbelievable what Fotio did. Obviously, we'll be discussing that at the end of the Grand Prix. After the podium interviews, looks like right now we're only dealing with one driver. So, while we're waiting, what's your name? Nickel, how you doing, mate? Is your voice set to share?
Yeah, everything's on.
Brilliant. So, we will. It doesn't look like any of the others are joining us, so you're on your own in here. How much did you pay them to leave you alone? No, I stand corrected. Salba coming in with their car, letting him come on back up, and we're waiting to see if James will join us. I don't know if James will join us, though. So just a quick, Dobby, your voice set to share, mate?
Yeah, I believe so.
Alright, where is James? I'll just drop him a message and ask if he wants to join the podium interviews. There he is.
There you go, I'm back. I was just fixing some stuff.
One second, just having a type something. So I've posed a question to James Braden asking how that race was for him, because I don't know if he's joining due to mic issues, but we'll go to you, Dobby, first. So your voice set to share, obviously. How was that race for you, mate?
It was terrible. Like, I'm really happy with the result though. Got really lucky. Not very good on the rain in this game for some reason. Just can't handle it. And when the lobby broke down, I went into time trial and got a wet setup, and it didn't work at all. Like, I would have been better with a dry setup, I think. So just did what I could and gambled on stretching it to the dry period, which I noticed before the race. I don't think many others did, which is lucky. Because, like, honestly, you had Raikkonen, 34 Kimi. He had more pace than me. If he did the same strategy, he would beat me, and same medium pilot. So, yeah.
All in all, though, happy with the result, and with Bahrain looming, are you going to be hoping to go one step higher and get onto the top of the podium?
Yeah, because, well, it'll be dry for sure.
Well, see, now it's going to be wet in Bahrain because you said that.
Yeah, no, it's actually impossible in the game. Like, I'm pretty sure it's impossible.
SpeedForce Racing will find a way. Our nickname for a while was SpeedForce Raining.
Yeah, well, to be fair, like today, Australia, I mean, you don't expect that to be a wet race, like, to be honest. So I was gutted when I saw that because had good pace in qualifying and used a lower ballast than usual, so could have gone faster in qualifying. But I was thinking about the rain.
All right, so we'll leave you and we'll go on to Lickle. So you picked off really with the pace from season 3, haven't you? You've come in and hit the ground running, haven't you, Lickle?
Yeah, Australia is one of my strongest tracks, so always look forward to seeing it on the calendar. And with the rain, I was lucky there was a restart because I went to go get a wet setup like Dobby, changed the ballast. I'm not sure if Dobby done that, and I had it on 7, I think it was, and it worked perfectly and had no oversteer issues, and managed to stretch it out to dries.
Yeah, no, I put it down to 7, but I think it was the wing. I put 311 wings because that was just what it was.
Me. I don't know, short shifting I was doing, so
Are
that
you
might
on
have helped.
Are you on the pad, Lickle?
Will.
Well, GG, mate. That is a great drive. Like,
Thank you all.
So, Lickle, you disappeared off the line, and we didn't see you again for a further 28 laps rather than when you pitted. So, how about you back up a bit next race so I can actually get Renault some sponsor time?
I'd like to say yes, but I want to win the championship. So, unfortunately, if I don't have to, I don't want to really be slowing down.
Well, don't worry, mate. But arguably, for the rest of the drivers that are going to target you for that statement, you can't win the race. You can't win the championship at the first race, but you can certainly start to lose it.
Yeah, I know.
So, all in all, mate, race went incredibly well for you. Any further comments about your move from? Oh, wait, no, you retained in Renault, weren't you, from last season?
No, I was reserve driver, so I was in pretty much any car. And also, I'd like to say tires. I was absolutely holding it in when it came to dries because it was at 22 or 23, I think it was. My tires were on 80% at the end. At that time, I was short shifting like mad just to try to save the rears, and it worked. And also, I think when it got to dries, it was quite obvious me and Dobby were on wet starts. I think it was Sammy behind, gained massively on both of us.
Yeah.
So I'm just glad I pulled the gap whilst I could.
yeah. Can I just say, Samu should have beaten me, but I don't know if you guys saw on the stream, but he thought the race was over on lap 28, and he just drove straight on at turn 1.
Oops.
So yeah, if anyone was wondering what happened, that is what happened to Sammy. Which, yeah, I feel for him because it was a great drive from him.
Luckily, that then reconfirms that denies the more sinister idea I had in my head. But it's brilliant now. So thank you to both of you. You guys looking forward to Bahrain next week?
Yep. Like the track. Don't mind
Yeah, it should be okay. I need to get more practice in though.
And one further question, we'll start with you, Dobby, then move on to you, Lickle, with that one. Did you watch any of the lower divisions to learn more about the track this race, or are you going to try and do that later on?
No, I didn't. I've been quite busy recently, but got some spare time to smash out F1 again, so hopefully I'll be strong next week.
And Lickle?
No, not really. I've joined a few more leagues so I can get back up to pace again. So I really haven't had time to watch the lower leagues right.
Well, just before all of this, we discussed on stream the potential of, and just nothing is confirmed here, just an idea of bouncing around in my head that actually, what's your name? Twan came up with. I'm sorry, Twan's new. But the idea we had was an all divisions constructor championship. So, I mean, starting with you, Dobby, do you like the idea of that? Like working with your lower division teams to try and beat everyone else?
Yeah, why not? I mean, could offer the way to practice with a few new people, sort of like the 2 Sauber drivers in Div 2. Could be pretty good actually. So yeah, I'll be up for that.
Lickle?
Not really too keen on the idea, but if at the end of the day it's not my decision, if admins want to do that, then they can go ahead.
Alright, well, we'll leave you guys to it, and I'll come back to you, Twan. Mate, on the scale of 1 to 10, how was that race for you?
I think a solid 7, I guess.
It truly was. There was definitely a point in the race where the racing lulled down, and we had to have a moment to think to ourselves and to try and make up some stories. But yeah, I think 7 is a good one for the opening round of the Premier season. And how have you enjoyed this the SpeedForce week in Australia?
I liked it really much, and I'm really glad to see that everyone has getting started on their season, and hopefully will keep on going. And there will probably be loads of new and really awesome battles later on, hopefully.
Well, we'll definitely see that. So, what's happening next in SpeedForce Racing? Well, next week, well, that for now, SpeedForce Racing is done, and we're leaving Australia with our heads held high of such 3 fantastic races. Next week, we're heading off to Bahrain. On Tuesday, we will be seeing the GP3 division, go off at full power around the Sakhir circuit, and then seeing GP2 and Premier take their time on the days afterwards. But nonetheless, this season is heating up, and it's going to be fantastic. I think there's no other word for it at the start of this season. I think this one might just be the best. Yeah, I've just been informed we're all late for the plane. I am now going to have to jet off to Italy for my next touring car race. I don't know, where are you off? Are you going to Bahrain early, Nickel? Nickel, what are you on about? Twan, you off to Bahrain early?
I'm off to bed.
Bed will do. Alright guys, we'll see you all next time for GP3 on Tuesday. If you're not going to join us, well, I'll see you in another stream. Have a good time guys, and ta-ra.